One of the players most Bulls fans hope to see return for the Chicago Bulls this upcoming offseason. One of the players that a lot of Bulls fans wanted to see return to the Chicago Bulls this upcoming season was Tre Jones. The Chicago Bulls just locked him into a long-term deal. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. And the Chicago Bulls have just signed Tre Jones to a 3-year, $24 million deal to stay with the Chicago Bulls. This is really good business. The Bulls get him locked in even before they signed Josh Giddey to a contract extension. I think that really says a lot about how the Bulls view Tre Jones and his contributions to the team last season. This is a guy that when you look at how he came into the Bulls and really filled in a role, and not only filled in a role, but also played very well with Josh Giddey. He was a player that played well with Giddey, well with Coby, well with Miles Buzelis. He really fit in with the personality of this team as well. This is a really good deal for the Chicago Bulls. And once they traded Lonzo Ball, this was really kind of what a lot of people hoped this was going to be. And the way that I look at it is this, and I know this may not be fair or whatever else, is that when you factor in Isaac Okoro and Tre Jones, the fact that you're now keeping both of those, which you probably weren't going to re-sign Tre Jones, even with you having your open roster spot, if you did not trade Lonzo, you end up you trade Lonzo, you get another wing defender in here, and you add Tre Jones. In his time with the Bulls last season, only 18 games, he averaged 11 points. He did that on 57% shooting from the field, 50% shooting from three. Doubt he's going to keep those numbers up, but 5 assists as well in that time, 3 rebounds, even with being one of the smallest guards on the board as well. He's only 25 years old, so he also fits the timeline that the Chicago Bulls have too. Tre Jones is almost a perfect third guard for this team. And so now this simplifies the Chicago Bulls rotation, right? You're going to have Tre Jones being the backup point guard. He's going to split that time with Josh Giddey or Coby when they're on the court, allowing them both to stay in their roles. That's another big important thing with that as well. Even though Tre Jones is a bit undersized, the time that he played with Josh Giddey, he was able to float around, shoot threes, those type of things. You have now Ayo Dosunmu coming off the bench as the wing. He's going to play 2. He's going to play 3. You got Isaac Okoro who's going to play some 3 and some 4. Noah Asingay. You got Kevin Huerter who's still there, who's going to be starting more than likely, kind of competing for that starting role with Isaac Okoro more than likely. And then you still got Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry, players like that. So getting Tre Jones locked into a contract extension here is one of the best signs of business that the Chicago Bulls could do, in my opinion. I love that they got this guy locked in. I love what this means for the team going forward into the future, and I love the fact that Tre Jones is here. And so while Lonzo, like I said, no knock on Lonzo Ball. I want to be clear on this, but I would rather have Tre Jones for what he's shown, the health that he's been able to have for this team, and having Isaac Okoro, having both those guys, I think have a greater sum than what Lonzo is giving you, especially with how injured he usually is. And so the fact that this was what a lot of people thought after the Lonzo trade was probably going to happen, now that it's come to fruition, I think that this is really smart business by the Chicago Bulls. I think this is the Bulls showing and proving that, that they are focused on really bringing something meaningful to this team and keeping some continuity. I said before, I think the Bulls really want to give an opportunity for that group that finished the season so strong to see how much of that they can bring back next season, how much of that they can look at and say, no, this is going to be able to be sustainable, because a lot of these guys are going to have expiring contracts. Tre Jones is now locked in, but he's locked into a contract that's only $8 million. So if you do need to move him, this is a very movable contract. Keep in mind, you were getting him for less than, for example, for Lonzo Ball. This is a very movable contract. It's not going to be hard at all to move this deal if Chicago Bulls need to move it. This is a really good deal, I feel like, for the Chicago Bulls. But I want to hear from you guys down below on this. Just really quick episode. We'll kind of recap everything going on with free agency after the fact. But looking at this move for the Chicago Bulls and for Tre Jones, I'm really surprised, too, that he did not even test the market. Keep in mind, there's so many teams that need point guards and productive point guards at that. And the fact that Tre Jones wanted to stay here in Chicago, I think bodes and says I know Bulls fans, and we have our problems with Billy Donovan, rightfully so, but it seems like a lot of players really do like playing for Billy Donovan, and especially point guards really like playing for Billy Donovan. And now you get Tre Jones locked in here for the Chicago Bulls, and we get to see what that means going forward for this team. But Tre Jones is going to stay in a Bulls uniform, and I love the fact that he's going to be here. But you guys can let me know how you feel on that down below. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See you right if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.